Hello, my name is NJ Franco, and these are my thoughts on the Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Laurie Gilmore. This is actually a romance novel about a man named Archer who lives in Paris, where he is the head chef of a fine restaurant, but he has to travel to the town of Dream Harbor to meet his daughter that he didn't even know he had from his fling of an ex girlfriend who had just died in a car accident, and Archer, now being the sole surviving parent, has to take care of her. Also, I didn't realize actually how depressing the plot was until I just now said it out loud. But anyway, side note, real quick, Archer being from Paris. Of course, he's from Paris because this is a romance novel, so of course you got to have the main male love interest from the city of love, Paris. Could you get any more obvious than that? Anyway, moving on. There is also Iris, the female love interest in the story. She's an already established resident in Dream Harbor, and she gets hired by Archer to be the nanny of this little girl that he now has to take care of. So that's basically the plot of the story, but with this being a romance novel, of course, Archer and Iris are going to end up smashing before the end of this, but I'll get more into that at the end of the video. Some additional thoughts I have about this book, though, is for once, I actually picked a book in the Dream Harbor series and read it in the correct season, because the only other Dream Harbor series book I've read so far is the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which is a fall type book, and I ended up reading it a month or so ago. So at least this book takes place in the spring. It's now currently the spring, so at least I got the right season this time. Also, Archer is a very strong and buff guy, and again, just like him being from Paris, I gotta say, of course, Archer is strong and buff because this is a romance novel, and he's got to be all attractive and whatnot. But see, here's the thing, though. Okay, Archer is a chef, right? Okay, and haven't you ever heard the saying, "Never trust a skinny chef"? Okay, if it's not obvious, it's like you want a fat chef. You can trust a fat chef because they've had their own cooking and clearly they're good at cooking. You don't trust a skinny chef or a buff chef. And also, in this book, the main thing that Archer ends up making is mostly pancakes and occasionally pasta. Those are two very fattening foods, and yet he's somehow buff. And you could say, okay, well, maybe he goes to the gym or something like that. And maybe he does, but they make no mention of that. So I don't trust this whole buff, strong, chef that also supposedly are really, really good at making pancakes. I don't buy it. Okay, but again, it's fantasy. I get it. Also, Archer and Iris are two completely incompetent adults because at one point, Olive, the little girl, the daughter of Archer, and the little girl that Iris is supposed to be taking care of. I don't think I had mentioned her name yet, but her name is Olive. She's 5. But anyway, at one point, she gets sick. She runs a fever, so Iris has to go pick her up from school, and she's kind of like, "Oh God, what do I do?" I'm like, "It's not that complicated taking care of a sick kid, okay?" I'm like, "Go to the store, go get some freaking children's Tylenol, go get a thermometer, go get some crackers, get some Pedialyte. It's not that complicated, okay?" So they eventually take her temperature though, and she's running a fever of 103.8. Oh my God, okay? And at 103.8, they decide to not take her to the ER or anything like that. Okay, in my opinion, anything above 102, take the kid to the ER. Okay, and this kid's pushing 104. Yeah, that's okay. Taking care of a kid, because I'm a dad, I have 2 kids myself. Taking care of a sick kid isn't that hard, but God, these two adults, these two grown adults, suck at it. So just wanted to get that out there. Anyway, so now it's time to move on to the spicy scenes, my thoughts on those. I'm gonna do my best to keep this PG-13 because this is still YouTube, and I'm not trying to get my videos taken down. So I'm gonna try to keep it PG-13 to the best of my ability. So the first spicy scene is more or less kind of like glossed over. It's so Archer and Iris, they get drunk, and then they wake up in bed together, and then they just sort of merely speculate what they actually did because neither one of them really remembers it. At one point, Archer suggests that he thinks he licked Iris's sweaty forehead. Ew. It, ew. Ew. I mean, hey, if that's what you're into, fine, but I don't want to. Anyway. Also, on that note, I by no means at all condone drunk sex. That's called grape. So don't get drunk and then mess around. No, don't do that. That's a bad idea. Um, the second, so that was the first one, first spicy scene, sort of, even though it was very vague and glossed over. The second one, they have a makeout session in the kitchen with some light foreplay. The third one, this is the third one. This is where things actually get kind of hot and actually a lot of detail and described out and expanded on. So it starts out as a quickie on the couch, and Archer initially he kind of regrets he is against it because it's like okay doing the nanny it's this is taboo. I shouldn't be doing this. This what he's against the idea, which understandably doing the nanny. No, you should be doing that. But he doesn't say it. He thinks in his head, but he doesn't say anything about it. And then as soon as they're done, he kind of feels guilty for it. But then a few minutes later, they end up moving to the bedroom and they bang again. Um, this time, Archer's all for it. But I just gotta say though, okay, so from the time that they did it on the couch to the time that they did it in the bedroom, maybe 10 minutes have passed. Okay, I'm a guy. Trust me when I say most guys cannot do the deed to its fullest extent, if you catch my meaning, within a 10-minute period. There needs to be a cool down period in between performing, if you get what I'm saying. Okay, so I call BS on that. I'm sure there's some guys that can do that. And because this is, romance and fiction and whatnot, so maybe, this is playing into a woman's fantasy that they can, do this multiple times, but most men can't. Just saying. So, quick side note though, between the two performances by Archer, both on the couch and in the bedroom, for neither one does Archer wear a raincoat. Hopefully, y'all know what I'm talking about because I'm not going to say it because this is still YouTube. So, at no point does he wear a raincoat. Now, Iris says, don't worry, I'm on the pill, so it's fine. Listen, fellas, any guys that happen to be watching this video, I don't care if she's on the pill, I don't care what other extenuating circumstances may be going on or whatever. Wear a dang raincoat, okay? Just saying. Anyway, so after that, the next morning they go down to the breakfast table and Archer eats Iris. Just put it that way. And that's basically the end of that. So, like I said, this last experience lasts several chapters, but also Olive is staying with her grandparents, so she's out of the house. They're in a kid-free house, so they want to make the best of it. So, I get it. Like I said, I'm a parent myself. I get it, so I don't blame him for that. But anyway, that's about it. I don't think I'm gonna read any more of the Dream Harbor series. It was mostly I just wanted to kind of get a feel for like romance and spice and see what the hype was all about. And I don't know. I'm also kind of getting burned out on the series, so I don't know if I might pick it up again later. But I'm definitely going to take a good break from it because I'm done with this series for now. But anyway, that's it for me. So until next time, remember, nothing in life is free except for liking, commenting, and subscribing. See ya.